Do you have to remind your children of things?
Welcome to Parenting Matters Now, a source of parenting advice a few minutes at a time.
Hi, this is Dr. Roger Smith of the Parenting Matters Now. We all need reminders, and I want to tell you about one that my wife uses. As our children are learning different things, oftentimes we have to tell them repeatedly. We have to give them reminders. In fact, my mother one time threatened me to give me a reminder because I had forgotten to do something. And she didn't mean it in a sort of way like it was going to be a gift. It was going to be punishment. That was going to be my reminder. But she couldn't stop doing what she was doing at the time to give me my reminder. And by the time she had time, she had forgotten what she needed to remind me of. So I never got that reminder. I did get some others. But nonetheless, my wife has this little baby shoe. All right, it's not a baby shoe. It's a child shoe. I guess it's a baby. She put this on the dresser by her bed on the path to her bathroom. And every time we have somebody come to help us clean the house, they want to take this little shoe and put it somewhere because it's there by itself sitting on the counter. But it's my wife's reminder to pray for her daughter-in-law and her son who want to have a baby. Every time that she passes that shoe, she tries to touch it and pray for our son and daughter-in-law. And so reminders can come in all forms. For my wife, this little child shoe is one that she uses to help remind her of something that she deems very important. So in your family, you can have reminders like calendars. And when you begin to have teenagers, they have their own phone and or they may, depending on how you decide to handle that issue. But if they do, there's an electronic calendar that you can share as a family so that you put things on there that everyone needs to remember where everyone else is supposed to be. And so there are tools that are available to put reminders for everyone of things that are important to people they care about. So whether it's birthdays or it's, events, they have some performance or different things, but also you can put just reminders of on Saturday, we're going to get our haircut or whatever it is. But reminders are so important. And so sometimes we need to be reminded of things we do daily. And so for me, there's a medicine I need to take each day, and I put it by my toothbrush so that it reminds me when I'm going to brush my teeth out of a habit. I have a regular daily habit of brushing my teeth. And so I can link something I need to do to something I do automatically. And so it reminds me. And so that's one way that you can teach your children or help your children remind themselves by linking it to something that they've already developed as a habit. When your children are small, they may not have habits yet. You're helping them to develop habits. So they may need a reminder like a bell ringing or an alarm of some sort. Think about ways that it can help your children to regulate their own lives by having regular reminders of things they need to do either daily or weekly. Whenever I am having to do something tomorrow that is a new thing for me and it involves having a certain item, while I'm thinking about it, I'll take that item to my truck and put it on my truck seat because by tomorrow morning I will forget. But when I open the door to get into my truck to go to work, there's that thing, and it reminds me. Showing your children how to give themselves reminders is a great skill. We need it ourselves, and our children need it. The second part of that as a parent is that we have to check up on them and help them to be successful. It's not checking up on them to find them failing, unless failure is a regular issue. We first want to check up on them to help them to succeed, and not always using punishment. But if you're trying to start a behavior, you reward it. If you're trying to stop a behavior, you punish it. And so I'm not saying it has to be harsh punishment, but there has to be some loss or some difficulty that is the punishment that says, oops, I don't want to do that again. And that is a principle. So look at what you're trying to do with your children. If you're trying to get them to start something, you talk to them about it and say, in this process, this is the reward. You complete this process, you do this, and there's a reward for starting behaviors. For stopping behaviors, there's punishment. Quite often I see parents trying to get children to stop crying. If you'll stop crying, I'll give you a treat. See, that violates the principle. And so the principle is, if you anticipate that they're going to be crying and throwing a fit, you can talk to them about the good behavior, and you're starting a good behavior. You can reward the good behavior. But once they've got a bad behavior, the stop instruction is a punishment, a withdrawal of privilege, a something that's negative, that they don't want that to happen. So therefore, they will stop the bad thing. So we all need reminders. Sometimes it looks like a shoe. Other times it looks like a calendar. Sometimes it's something that we set in our way so that we encounter it and we see it and it reminds us. So help your children to develop reminders. It's Dr. Roger Smith with Parenting Matters Now.
Subscribe to Parenting Matters Now for more advice, or go to rogersmithmd.com to search for more topics. See you next time.